The San Diego Padres have returned to what can be considered a successful road trip. They played .500 baseball on the road last week. Monday, it's the start of a 6-game homestand with world champion Cubs in town for an afternoon affair, the first of 3, as both teams sporting the camouflage military hats for Memorial Day. Jerry Kosar gets in some early trouble with the walk, and then he hits Anthony Rizzo, and another walk, and he loads the bases for Jason Hayward. And Jason Hayward would make him pay the 2 RBI single. Kosar throwing 28 pitches in the inning. That is a lot. The Padres make some noise in the 4th. Bases loaded for Hunter Renfroe, number 10 in the season. That is a grand slam off Kyle Hendricks. 4-2 San Diego lead. The Friars would have a chance to put more on the board in the 5th, up 5-2, but Will Myers gets caught napping at first to end the inning. In the 7th, this one gets turned over to Ryan Buchter. He walks the bases loaded. Andy Green says, I've seen enough of that. He brings in Brad Hand, 1 out, bases loaded, and what does he do? Induces the 4-6-3 double play to get out of the inning as Brandon Maurer, for the 2nd day in a row, comes on for the save, and he would get Rizzo to pop up to end the game. The Padres beating the world champions as we go to the board of the final in this one, 5-2. There you see the Padres bullpen. They were the real star of the game. Next up, AT&T Park. The Giants' Hunter Strickland facing the Nats' Bryce Harper.
And the pitch, and he hits Harper. And Harper's going to go out. And now we got a beef. And this is a good one, folks.
Yeah, he has a beef because he got hit by a 96-mile-an-hour fastball right in the hind quarters and incites the bench's clearing brawl. It's the first time the two had met since Harper hit 2 home runs off Strickland during the 2014 NLDS between the Nats and Giants, so I'm sure there's some harbored feelings there. Both players ejected in the game for Harper. It's the first time he's been tossed. As for fighting the game, the final 3-0 Nationals. On Sunday, San Diego State earned an automatic bid to the NC2A tournament by beating Fresno State in the Mountain West Championship game on Monday morning. They gathered at the Mesa to find out who and where they would be playing. Matt Gilson was there.
Long Beach State. The 49ers were the champs of the Big West. They're matched up against San Diego State.
Texas and UCLA round out the rest of the rather familiar regional. SDSU has already played Long Beach State and UCLA twice each this year and has won all 4 of those games.
With already taking them out, twice, both teams twice, I mean, I feel like we got a good draw. We're excited.
That season's over. We're on to the new season, and so it's going to be a very difficult regional for us to get through. And so we know Long Beach has one of the best pitching staffs in the country.
Obviously, we're going to face their Friday guy. He's good. He gets people out. He has a lot of wins under his belt, but so do we. And we're going to come out swinging.
We definitely have the confidence we feel like we can go to Omaha. We really do.
The Aztecs have now won 4 of the last 5 Mountain West titles. The first 2 of those came with Tony Gwynn at the helm, and current manager Mark Martinez says Gwynn should even get some of the credit for this year's win. Down 3-2 in the 8th inning, Tyler Atkinson popped an easy fly ball to shallow right field.
The second baseman never really had a beat on it, and the right fielder thought he was going to catch it. And I think Tony might have moved the ball into the sun, and so we thank Tony for that. It was pretty cool. Even before that, I know that not only me, but several of the guys were asking for Tony's help. We're trying to find a way to win a baseball game. His stamp is going to be here forever. His legacy will be here forever. We just have to go out there and try to honor him every day, and that's what we try to do.
From San Diego State, Matt Gilson, KUSI Sports.
How about some more baseball? Grossmont taking on Santa Rosa in the title game of the California Community College Championships. Former La Jolla Viking Noah Stroll homers for the Griffins in the top of the 3rd. 4 RBI on the day for him as Grossmont is the state champ for the first time in school history. The final in this one, 10-6. Throughout Memorial Day, top youth teams from around the world have converged on San Diego for the Manchester City Cup. Man City and Tottenham both sitting their academy squads, plus top clubs from the U.S., but the title game featuring 2 youth teams from Liga MX, Tijuana and Club America. Tijuana, your 2017 champion, as they win it 2-1, earning them international bragging rights.
As you can tell behind us is a big crowd, probably about 1,600 people here to watch it. The real benefit is for our boys as well. They all aspire to be professional, and they got to play against teams that, who first walked onto the field that they look up to because they're big name clubs, but they got to test themselves and see that their level is just as equal.
Well, this Memorial Day no preps will heat back up on Tuesday as we'll have 10 CIF baseball playoff games. Until then, you can get your prep fix with Mike Milburn in this week's Plays of the Week.
As the school year winds down, we recognize a quartet of catches. St. Augustine's Brooks White using the fence to his advantage to bring this ball back into the yard. He not only hangs on for the out, he also robs the batter of a grand slam. This run-saving snag good enough to make Brooks candidate number 1 for the All Sports Report Play of the Week. A wildcat showing off his wheels. El Camino's Matias Tarona sprinting from center field to make this grab, robbing the batter of extra bases. This diving effort good enough to make Matias candidate number 2 for the All Sports Report Play of the Week. No hat, no glasses, no problem. St. Agito's Wiley Sharp throwing off his shades, losing his lid, and fighting the sun to finish off the catch. It's an out good enough to make Wiley candidate number 3 for the All Sports Report Play of the Week. A cougar who knows how to catch. Escondido's Ben Donnelly hustling from second base and flashing the leather to get the out. This sliding snag making Ben candidate number 4 for the All Sports Report Play of the Week. The fate of these athletes is now in your hands. Vote for your favorite play on the KUSI Sports Facebook page, at KUSI Sports on Twitter, and at KUSI Sports on Instagram. We'll announce the winners Sunday night on the All Sports Report.
Well, Tiger Woods' holidays and cars just don't mix. The 41-year-old golfer was arrested Monday morning and booked on suspicion of DUI at 3 a.m. outside of his home in Jupiter, Florida. The arrest report is expected to be released on Tuesday. Now, if you remember, Tiger's fall from grace came back in 2009 during Thanksgiving when his ex-wife chased him out of the house before he crashed into a fire hydrant and then a tree. Now, Woods last week said that he felt as good as he had in quite some time after a lower back surgery, and he was planning to return. Now, today he issued a statement regarding the DUI. I want the public to know that alcohol was not involved. What happened was an unexpected reaction to prescribed medications. I didn't realize the mix of medications had affected me so strongly. Okay, and here's another thing, a tweet. This is just kind of interesting. This is from Don Van Natta Jr. of ESPN. Tiger Woods was paid $45.5 million in 2016. Now, that buys 3,631,285 Uber rides from Tiger's restaurant to his house. That is what we call food for thought. Well, legendary sports writer Frank DeFord has passed away at the age of 78 in his home in Key West, Florida. The Baltimore native spending 50 years writing for SI. He also retired from NPR earlier this month after 37 years. DeFord also named to the National Association of Sportscasters and Sports Writers Hall of Fame. He was voted Sports Writer of the Year 6 times, won a Peabody and an Emmy. He also wrote 18 books, and you might most recently know him for his work on HBO Real Sports. He's survived by his wife, 2 children, and 2 grandchildren. And finally, did you see that on Saturday, Iowa Hawkeyes baseball players Zach Fricke and Austin Guzzo had an impromptu hot dog eating contest while the Big Ten Network was interviewing their coach, Rick Heller.
No, it feels pretty good. I thought, early in the game we were barreling some balls up and didn't have anything to show for it, and then finally got some to drop and hit some balls out of the park. Right now, Hansen slowed us down a little bit. We just got to pick it back up and get it rolling. But I like where we're at right now. Our guys are starting to swing the bats a little better in the middle of the lineup, and that's good to see.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Now turn around and ask your players what the heck they're doing back there.
Well, instead of hot dogs, they were using Slim Jims. They ended up losing 9-3. I think they should have focused more on baseball than on performing for the cameras in the final games of the Portuguese Cup. Yeah, between Benfica and Vitória de Guimarães, and they have the ball delivered in a very unique way. A guy on a drone. I just don't know how safe that is. I would not do it.